Tabuk is really a trading city, a trading hub. Though it's smaller than Medina, I think it's more developed. From here we can see Tabuk Cemetery, which is actually behind this wall. See? Piles of rock there. And this is a walking street. You can see. So there is a mosque, Masjid At-Taubah. The Prophet Muhammad actually drank water from here. Hi, good morning friends. I'm now in Tabuk, the capital of the Tabuk province, near the border to Jordan. So we're just transiting here before going to Jordan, and today hopefully I'm gonna travel around the city and take a look to see what can be seen here in the city. I heard there is a citadel, old citadel, and also a railway museum. Like from 100 years ago, there was a railway that connect Damascus to Medina, and there is a museum of the railway station in Tabuk. It's a transit city. So follow me. This is Prince Sultan Road. It's one of the main road in Tabuk. So even though it's not that big, but it's quite developed. I read online the population is about 700,000. But as you can see, the economy is thriving here. Honestly, even though it's smaller than Medina, I think it's more developed. There are a lot of shops here, as you can see. I think Tabuk is really a trading city, a trading hub, a lot of supermarkets, shopping centers, and I like walking here because now in November the temperature is good, like maybe around 20 degrees Celsius. Even though the sun is beating us hard, it's still okay to walk. And here, warning, archaeological area. So apparently I checked on the map. This is the one of the old station of the steam train built by the Ottomans, I think in the early 1910s, before World War I. And it's located near the Panda supermarket over there. But it's just one of the small stops. I think the main station is not this one. Maybe we'll see it later. Now I'm walking here to climb this small rock. From here we can see Tabuk Cemetery, which is actually behind this wall. So my friend recommends me to climb and see Muslim cemetery, even though actually in Indonesia all cemeteries mostly are Muslim cemetery, but it might be different here in Saudi Arabia. So let's see. Take a look at that. And maybe we can climb up a little bit. I'm not sure if this is also part of the cemetery, but I think it's an ancient cemetery if it is, because you can see it's all walled and rocks. Maybe zoom a little bit. Yes, this is Tabuk Cemetery. So let's try going from here. Wow. Yes. So I climb up this rock from there. So I can see the ancient cemetery of Tabuk over here. And in front of me is the city of Tabuk. It's not just in front of me, but it surrounds me. Yes. A small rock to climb, nice view. So let's see one more time. That is the ancient cemetery. Just for sure, I'll zoom for you to see that it is actually really ancient. See? Piles of rock there. Yep, that's ancient cemetery. And this is Tabuk. Okay, now I'm gonna continue walking further towards that direction, I think, where there is a museum and the ancient fort of Tabuk. Let's go. That was Tabuk skyline, and now we're gonna walk forward towards the Tabuk castle. It's a museum, but I heard actually the foundation is very ancient, like from thousands of years ago. And nearby there's also a Tabuk railway station built during the Ottoman period, now no longer functioning. Looks like an old town, and that is Tabuk. I think this one is a mosque, but looks modern style. We're almost at the fort. I passed through the residential area and now the commercial. But as you can see, all these shops, most of them are closed. Because if you remember, here in Saudi Arabia, in many places, actually, the working hours are split into two, the morning and the afternoon. And the afternoon usually starts at 5. That's why now it's closed. So maybe, I'm not sure, but maybe at 5 p.m. the shops will be open. So there is a mosque, Masjid At-Taubah, and this is a walking street. You can see it's a long walking street, but I told you most of the shops are still closed. According to Google Map, it's called Al Amir Fahd Ibn Sultan Road. It's this one. And the castle, Tabuk Castle or fort, is that one at the end of the road. I can already see it. It's very small, but it's quite historical. So let's check it out. And here you can see some sellers are already opening their shops. So from here I can imagine that at night it will be more crowded, and the things sold here are, you know, like this: scarves, clothings. Okay, let's go to the castle first. This is the fort. So allegedly, it was first built 3,500 years ago, because some people believe that it is actually mentioned in the Quran by another name. So, but the archaeological findings, according to science, the foundation is about from 16th century. And I think, yeah, right now it looks closed. So it's 2 stories high, but from here it looks like 3. And I heard there is a, you know, a small mosque inside, at least in the past. And maybe it's closed now, and it will be open at 5, following the traditional opening time. Or maybe we enter from another entrance. This is the wall, and I'm not sure what that is, but looks like a pool in the past. If it's closed and we're not sure whether it will be open at 5, I'm not sure if I'm gonna wait. But first, maybe let's just knock on the door first. If nobody's there, then we'll go to our next destination, which is the railway station from the Ottoman Empire. I heard one of the main function of the fort is actually to guard this. So I think this is the reservoir, but no water now. Anyway, let's just knock on the door. If nobody, we go. But basically, the main function of the fort, at least in pre-modern time, starting 16th century, is to guard the pilgrimage route to Medina and Mecca. From the Levant, you go to Tabuk. I tried to knock the door, but nobody opens, so I guess it's still closed until 5 p.m. at least. And actually, the spring that I showed you earlier, a pool, but you know, it's dry. But it used to be a spring, and it's called Ain al-Sukar. It's actually the place where the Prophet Muhammad actually drank water from here when he invaded Tabuk. So anyway, because it's closed, we're gonna continue our way. We follow this commercial street again. We're gonna go to the next destination, which is the railway station of Tabuk from the era of the Ottoman Empire. Now it's no longer functioning. It's turned into a museum. Probably it's also closed, probably. But we're gonna visit it anyway and see from the front. Let's go. Now it's about 4 p.m. You can see people just start opening their shops. There are 2 over here, and these are the ladies we saw earlier. And over there, also I noticed someone just opened the door to his shop. See? Yeah, you heard the sound just now? It's that guy opening his shop. So you can see people are opening their shops. Now it's 4 p.m. That's how it's done here. I can see many others are trying to open their shop. For example, the guy over there is opening his shop also. And even over there, the jewelry shop, also they just open one, and the next curtain, iron curtain. Wow, yeah, this is the area for jewelries. I can see. I think the best time to go here is actually at night, in the evening. See, it's being opened. Gold. Anyway, I'll be too tired because tomorrow the plan is I want to go to Mount Sinai. Hopefully we can go. So, just wish me luck. So it's about the opening hour. Some people just open, and other still has not opened. But see, the goods sold are like for women, at least at this building. The clothing is very colorful. Okay, we are back at the main commercial street. This is Tabuk Railway Museum from 100 years ago. And we need to go from there, cross road. That's the museum. And so far, as I can see in Tabuk, also no public transport. So if you remember, in Jeddah and Riyadh, even Medina, all the public transport are very new. So before that, it looks like this city, no public transport. And you can imagine, at the time when several years back, when women are not allowed to drive, it's not just about driving, but it reduces their mobility completely, because without driving and no public transport, you almost cannot go far. Anyway, let's hope that the museum is open so we can enter. Looks like the museum is open. It's from 100 years ago, so let's take a look and learn about the railway station, the Hijazi Railway from the Ottoman period. Unfortunately, it's closed for visitors. It's only open from Sunday to Thursday and closed on weekend. Very strange. Anyway, that's the building you can see already. So that's it about Tabuk. I'm going back to my accommodation and rest. So see you tomorrow. Hopefully we'll see you again in Sinai.
Ikuti terus Bang Jago. Sampai jumpa.